Kia ora from Aotearoa, New Zealand. I wanted to talk today about the sacred attitude that is sovereign and just how vital that is at this time while we're transiting through such a huge stage in our evolution. So this is relating to with the energies of the mind, the sacred mind count. Sacred is really, really, really vital, that attitude right now. There is so much in this world that has lost that sacred meaning, has become soulless or heartless, and so really we have to bring that back within ourselves so that all is brought back into a sacred alignment. So really this comes from the whole, so 3 simple words in a way. It is do no harm. And it's a very simple law of nature's law, L-O-R-E, not so much a written law, L-A-W, which has sort of really taken hold and a grip of our reality, and we are also partly, all of us are each responsible for that creation. We're also responsible for undoing that creation and creating something new. So as the Mayan calendar is actually an amazing guide in how we can return back to nature and back to the sacred way of living. Okay, so at the moment Earth is held under bondage by a huge mentality. So this again is about consciousness, and that I want to call that mentality a herd mentality. So the herd mentality is where stock is rounded up and it's used for commerce. There's no dignity, there's no value of life. The animals are harmed. But this is very much how humans are also seen by those that have been mainly in control of how our world has functioned, or what we have been captive in. So within our own sacred attitude, we need to look at how we are in this, like, do we support factory farming? Do we support slaughterhouses? Do we support culling and death? We have to also eliminate these from our worlds, and also come back to like a real gratitude for creation, for our food, our water, our existence, our mother's womb, our father's seed. So when we're really connected with the earth, this is just the natural way of being. And I've observed this a lot in native people that are very connected to the land. They hold this sacred attitude, and so food is and everything is given thanks over. There's just a sacred movement upon the earth and a connection with the earth. So there's also a difference in collective awareness, and what I'm seeing now is that there's a lot of independent research that's bubbling up from people with courageous hearts. These are people that are desiring peace and balance and harmonious existence, and it's taking a lot of courage for people that really care, like doctors that have formed a summit where they've talked about their truth and their reality of the COVID-19, and how they are saying, yes, we do have cures, and that these have very, very, very quickly been censored and taken from the internet. And this is also a part of them coming up, which is really stopping this herd mentality if we were to listen to it. So the herd mentality is very much programmed. It's very much brought by a group of people that have come together with an agenda that's been over eons of time, to harness the human soul and the spirit with something fictitious, which is called money, something fictitious which has created massive inequality, where people have been separated into factions and groups and marginalised. People have not been able to be themselves, but there's been a great endeavour to have people be like those that want to take over the role of being parent. The government and the billionaire clubs, the Illuminati, who have orchestrated a lot from the beginning, and so much has been done in secret, and now all these secrets are starting to be revealed, and it's causing a huge groundswell, almost like it feels like people are roaring, and it's loud, and yet when we come back to nature, we come back to harmony, and we come back to balance, it's beautiful. Like, I was just watching a hawk this morning. There was a hawk flying up in the clouds over the valley, just calling out, and I just felt so connected to this hawk, and actually felt like, well, I did have to put this message out, so it sort of gave me a little message, because all of creation is working together to bring itself back into balance and harmony. And humanity is very, very responsible to be able to bring everyone back into balance and harmony. Okay, so it's taking a lot of courage for people to speak up. People have to lose that fear of disapproval, of rejection, of being hurt, and people have been taken out. People are being killed, they're being censored, they're being gagged for a long time for speaking up about these truths. But as different people, and it is a collective awareness, but as different people come up with their independent research and they're putting it out there for people to see so that we may find solutions to this, they're coming from many places that there wasn't a whole great big agenda that ran this. This is a response to breaking out of this control matrix, this governed state, this parent thing. So as humans, we've come to a point where we're no longer like children playing in a sandpit and throwing sand in one another's eyes. That's duality, that's fighting, and that's competition. And really it's about coming together for the good of all, for humanity, for all the animals, for all of creation, for every living thing. And so I'm seeing a beautiful, beautiful concerted effort by so many people that are out there, and they're speaking truth, and they're uncovering things, and they're getting down to the bottom of things so that we can have a good clear out. And with the time frequencies, it is definitely going to happen. We just have to hold faith. We have to keep our vibration high. We have to keep our frequency high. Now, I need to do this with a lot of meditation. I need to do this with nature time, and also living where I'm purging. I'm purging the dross out of my own body, but clearing up my own inner swamp. So as inside, so outside, and it's about purifying. So this is a time of great purification, and the veil of illusion is indeed being cut away. So as this relates to the Mayan energies, today it's day of 12 Earth. So it's like the flowering of maturity of the knowledge of the earth. So if we can connect with the earth, if we can connect with her knowledge, be one with her, we will actually, and we can do that with meditating with her, being grounded with her, being one with her, connecting with her crystalline core, through our heart, through her heart, and through the heart of Father Sky. So here we will find the peace and the balance and the harmony within ourselves, even in the midst of what would seem like an awful lot of chaos, where awful agendas are being revealed about paedophilia, about cannibalism, about child trafficking, and the depravity that has been kept underground, which is breaking through. So, unfortunately, we do have to be a little bit of a witness to this, but we also need to be empowered to be the change within it all, and to hold the heart for humanity, for creation, for all of evolution. So we are in the Trecena of Simi, or death, and this is a time where we can actually really come into great equalization. There's a huge opportunity of birthing, of breaking through, and very much in the spirit world, in the unseen worlds, in those realms that we see when we can really focus and connect in. And the clearer we get in our being, the clearer we'll get with our clear seeing, our clear vision, our clairvoyancy, if you want to put that. These are actually part of us. It's just that because of pollution and because of a lot of social engineering and everything, we've lost those abilities. But we can come back to it as we work on ourselves, do our personal development, and just keep loving one another. We also have to take a strong stand, so we can't just be walked over, and gosh, this has been my growth lately. I've realised what a walkover I have been most of my life, and how I didn't even have the ability to protect my children well enough when they needed me, and it was very much from my own brokenness. And I've just, like, we've all got these things that we need to heal. I refuse now to feel that shame and that guilt of not being a really good mother in the eyes of society at different times when I was really broken and really worn down and going through breakdowns and trying to heal after being exposed to some of the awful things that have been going on this earth. I'm relieved to see that things like the satanic ritual abuse are coming out, and that these are being cleared away, and that people are compassionate and caring, and I myself feeling greatly supported. There are people that are helping me at the moment at no cost to myself. I don't have that. I don't have the funds to do this kind of healing, and I'm very, very grateful for those that are around me at this time that are helping me to heal, because when a trauma happens at a very young age, there are certain parts of our brain and our development that don't take hold. So this Irlen syndrome, why I wear these strange glasses, is actually a part of that. So massive trauma at a very young age meant that there was certain development in my body that didn't allow me to develop the senses that most humans see. Instead, it heightened other senses which I needed for survival, and I've been living in a state of survival and many a homeless state, which I'm trying to get out of, but I can't get out of that until I know something else in this life. And we all have our challenges, and we can all work together with that. And I just have so much gratitude for all those people that are around me, that are supporting me. I support a lot of people as well, and I've spent a life in service to a lot of people, and believe in, because I love and believe in humanity. I believe in personal development. I believe that together in unity we find our way out of this mess. So we're all in this together, and gratitude is so vital. Okay, so there is, in the Mayan calendar, there is the Tzolk'in, which moves in an anti-clockwise direction around the medicine wheel, or the four directions. And this is still has the signature of what we call that, duality, because duality has actually been a part of our evolution. But since we've transcended that by reaching the very top of the pyramid and coming into the ninth wave era, we are now working with 9-day codes that are working in a clockwise direction of the medicine wheel. And this is much more spiritually orientated, whereas I see that the Tzolk'in was almost kind of more physically orientated. And we have an alignment in our body with the way that that we spin inside. So our physical will spin one way, and when we're in alignment, the spiritual will spin in another way, like twice as fast. One being the actual four directions, so the physical being the four directions, north, south, west and east, not necessarily in that order, and then the spiritual direction being bipolar to the greatest capacity of the light to the greatest capacity of the darkness, and we have to find our balance between those polarities within the soul. The soul is the one, it is the point of unity, it is where we all connect, and it is within the heart. So our hearts are vital, our heart connection is vital with the earth, it is vital with the sky, it is vital with one another. And there are laws within nature. Okay, so judgment and punishment aren't ours to enforce, and I know that many people feel angry, they want to fight, but killing because someone killed is only going to exacerbate the problem. So we really, if we can leave that and surrender to the divine will within divine time, surrender to nature's law, know that there is cause and effect, and know that there are equalizing harmonics at work, that time frequencies are working with us, and that all we have to do is be true to ourselves, authentic, stay in our heart, be soulful. In the body, continue healing, continue doing our personal work, love one another, help one another, be an observer of all that is, try not to get emotionally tied into what is going on, but to be strong and courageous within our hearts. And when we're strong and courageous within our hearts, we won't be emotionally caught up. I mean, emotions are good in the sense that, you know, crying is such a release. I'm such a good crier. I'm really fluent with my waterworks. I cry and it's such a beautiful release. It's part of my healing. I honour crying. It's a wonderful and it's a beautiful thing. It is a release. It is surrender. So it's actually strong, it's a strength. People see it as a weakness or a vulnerability or something that has to be fixed. But gosh, you know, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to laugh, laugh. Like, be yourself, be human, be your authentic self. You know, we just don't have any change from repeating the same old cycle. So war is war, fighting is fighting. So as we surrender to our heart knowledge and we share the knowledge of the earth, this is all taking place upon her, and she is one underneath it all. So let's listen to her. Okay, so we're coming up to a new Trecina, which is the part of the Tzolk'in, and that's going to be in Storm. So it's going to be an intense time. In Storm, it's a shake-up which can bring more light in. It's going to bring in that unconditional loving energy where the sun always comes out next. And then we will also go into the next night phase. When we do go into that will be in the energy of Serpent, and Serpent is savvy. Serpent has a kind of justice which is instinctive. It is of the heart, it is connected to the sky, it is connected to the earth, it is connected to the energy flow that comes through the body. It can be physical, and yeah, I think at this time it's actually really important to move our bodies, to keep ourselves keep the energy flowing, keep the chi, the prana, the mori, the energy really cycling through us as whole and complete human beings. So I'll leave that for today. Thank you for joining on this journey. I love you all, and have faith, have hope, keep trusting. There is a divine plan. We're in this together. And we come as the children of Mother Earth and the children of Father Sky with great responsibility to be the conduit, to be the change that we wish to see in this world. Blessings upon you. In Lakesh, which means I am another you. We are connected, we are one, and so it is.